Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for SteveArts89. Well, it looks like there might be some Star Trek toys actually being produced, because I just did a video about where is the Star Trek merch. Aside from X06, no one seemed to be doing anything. Now, we knew that Nacelle was doing some original canon universe Star Trek toys, and they were going for the unmade sort of toys. They were going for the deep dives and the ones that we haven't had before to augment the collections that already exist, like the 6-7 inch Art Simon ones. So we knew about that. That was interesting. And we also knew that they didn't have the rights to any of the New Trek shows because someone else had the rights to the New Trek shows. And there was talk that someone was doing Strange New Worlds figures or JJ film figures, but I hadn't seen them. But what we have just seen, and this was apparently at the London Toy Fair from this week, and they look a bit rough. They're supposedly from Master Replicas, but I'm not seeing any proof of exactly where they're from. There are just pictures of, I think, 5 figures. There's Picard and Riker from season 3 of Picard, and then we've got Boimler, and then we also have, I know we had Spock, but I'm not sure if we had Spock and Pike, but we have Spock, and Spock has fallen off the back of the card inside the box, and he's just sort of, there's pictures of him sort of trying to get pictures of him because he's sort of laying half in the box because he's not sitting in the box like he's supposed to. And yeah, it's not looking like a really good promo or launch. It looks really rough. The boxes are really worn, and there's not a lot of detail. There's no logo. There's nothing to say who's actually making these. It just basically has the name of the character, and that's it. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't think these were being made, but at the same time, are they actually going to end up on the store floors? I don't know. But yeah, I had to comment on that. Now, Boimler does look awful because he's animation accurate, and I hate animation accurate figures if the animation's awful, and I find the Lower Decks characters look like Rick and Morty and they look awful. It would have been amazing to have gotten a Star Trek series with today's technology in animation to have like a more realistic portrayal of characters and an animated show. But instead we got Lower Decks, which is a kiddie comedic parody basically, and it's not like, at least Prodigy, you had that element of trying to be realistic, photorealistic, 3D art. And there were some scenes that were really amazing and beautiful, but unfortunately they decided to do a Star Wars story with alien characters instead of actually doing a Star Trek story set in Starfleet with Starfleet ships and stuff like that. And I know I'm only referring to season 1. I haven't seen season 2 properly, but since no one really has, because it was, scraped off the platform by Paramount and sent to Netflix and hasn't really created much of a stir or much of anything over there. So really the Lower Decks people, the Prodigy people are familiar with is just the season 1 Prodigy in that story, which sort of concluded by the end of season 1 and, really season 2, because they made an order of, I think, 40 episodes, and instead of splitting it into 4 seasons like a lot of shows will do, they split into 2 seasons and did them in halves of 10 episodes at a time. So it's just a mess. But they did do toys of those, which no one bought. And Playmates tried to do Star Trek toys again, but instead of giving us committing to one line, they just gave us a couple of each to see, like a test, see what do people buy, and maybe if they did well, they might have continued the rest of the line, was sort of the feeling we got from that. And of course, no one wanted to start down that road and commit to like a crew if you weren't going to get the others. So no one bought the 1 or 2 characters they did from each line because they didn't want to get stuck with just them if they never continued the line with the other figures. So yeah, so this one, I don't know, are we just getting a couple of figures? Is this the wave? Picard, Riker, Spock, Boimler. It's like, again, who's going to buy one character from a show with no idea whether you're going to get the other characters and if you're going to get a full series and a full wave and a full crew? They're just taking the wrong approach, which is the scared, uncommitted, we're not sure if we're going to do this, let's just give you a sample and see if you like it, and if you do, maybe we'll actually do another one or give you a wave of actual characters. So yeah, it's I mean, the characters look okay. The Riker and that, they look a bit stiff. They don't quite, the bodies are a bit off. But Boimler looks exactly like cartoon character, which I guess is what they're going for, so they're successful. But I'd rather see a more realistic version of the character, more like the one that we saw in crossover from the Ultimate Universe into Strange New Worlds, because Lower Decks is in a different universe from Strange New Worlds, which is a different timeline from Discovery, possibly a different universe from Discovery, so it's a bit of a mess. But I don't know what to make of this. There's not a lot of information. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the possibility of this next line of Star Trek toys.